Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be covering a new hobby that I've encountered. We'll be covering Weiss Schwarz, in particular the latest set that's about to be released in this very Friday for Goddess of Victory Nikke. Now, Nikke is coming to both English and Japanese in the latest expansion to Weiss Schwarz, and the Japanese version will be releasing ahead of time of the English release. And today we'll be looking at the various art of the Nikke set to help us determine what will be the highest rarity and what will be the most coveted cards from the set. So without further ado, I've created a Nikke tier list, and we're going to be covering and predicting which cards will be the most sought after, the highest price, rarity, etc. based off of various different criteria, including but not excluding my own personal opinion, as well as some scientific methods such as the number of fan arts of each character. So without further ado, let's begin. So this upcoming set for Nikke does have various different rarities officially. There is the AGR, where there's only one card of this set, and that is the Rapi, hand-signed card by Yui Ishikawa, which is the Japanese voice actor who also voices 2B and Mikasa from Attack on Titan. And AGR will be the highest rarity available, and this card will be extremely rare. I heard there's only 200 copies of this serialized for the entire set. So this will be the most expensive card. Unfortunately, it's just a very normal looking art of Rapi, which is rather of a disappointment in my opinion. But this card will be the highest rarity, so it will be the most expensive. For anybody looking to collect, I probably predict this will be in the thousands in terms of monetary value. Now, moving on, we have the SEC Plus, which are the special cards with unique and brand new art that's never been released before. And they feature 5 of the most popular of the Nikke franchise. And now we're going to try and figure out which one of these will be the most popular and most high-priced card of them all. So I've put together some various lists to help us determine that and help us predict that information. For those of you who don't play Nikke and trying to figure out which one of these ladies are the most popular, well, we have several other tier lists that we can review. So here's the research that I've done for the various fan arts that are out there for each character. So this is based off of an image forum thing called the Borus. You can Google these characters' names and Boru, and you'll find some interesting arts out there. But anyway, they have a count of however many fan arts there are of each character out there, and here are the numbers. So coming in rank first is Anis, Sparkling Summer, and she is the highest of them all, having over 2,000 fan arts. Wow, 2,000. Are you kidding? That's 2,000 more than the last character, Biscuit, by a landslide. Okay, and then second most is Yui Ishikawa's Rapi, 1,000, okay. Next one is Alice, who is not featured in the SEC Plus, then Red Hood, and etc, etc. So as you can see, more often than not, the main characters from this series are the most popular. And then the ones that are not very popular, well, they're probably not meta, and they're not really used in the story, as well as, they don't have a whole lot of exposure, or they have a lack of assets, as you'll see in subsequent slides. Moving on, we have the tier list for the game instead. So there is this tier list by Nikke GG, which tells us which characters are the most meta in the game. So as you can see, Red Hood is probably the most popular in terms of popularity, in terms of gameplay. She is the best character in the game. And then there is Litter, who's also SSS tier, etc. Crown, which is one of the newer characters, isn't in the set, so she can be ignored. But try to remember some of these names because some of them are going to be relevant in terms of the tier lists. And then obviously some of these characters that are in D, E, F, tiers are really just bottom feeders that nobody ever plays because they're too weak in the game. And thus their popularity is probably not going to be very high. And now let's review the most popular Nikke characters based off of the popularity pool that was conducted in 2024. So according to this, again, Red Hood came in first with 1 million votes. And then second was Dorothy. Doro, she's a meme character. And then we have Scarlet, both Scarlets coming in the top 5. So that's very interesting because Scarlet is not typically a character that gets a lot of fan arts, but she is very, very strong in the game, as well as, in terms of story progression and storylines, she has a very interesting character arc. So there's that. And then for the other ladies, if you see a trend, most of them have extremely large assets, if you know what I mean. They're very, very blessed to have, well-endowed assets. Yeah, okay. Anyway, moving on. So back to our tier list. So we take all of those things into consideration. What can we predict? So Annis obviously will be the highest in terms of popularity because of her assets and her utility in the game. Next, I think it's a toss-up between either Rapi or Scarlet, Black Shadow. If I were to guess, Rapi's probably a little bit more popular than Scarlet, but I could be wrong. Now, I think, for my opinion, I really think Modernia is probably more popular than Dorothy in terms of, just popularity because her voice actress is really well known. She's voiced by, Modernia's voiced by Hanazawa Kana Hanazawa, which is a very, very famous voice actor in Japan. And, Modernia is also very, very important in the game, as well as being a meta character herself. Dorothy is more of a meme character, but, I can see why people like her. But these are the SEC plus category, and these are going to be extremely rare as well. Okay, moving on. So next we have the SSP category. The SSP, which stands for Super Special Rare. These cards are a little bit different from the rest of these SPs because these don't have signatures. As you can see, all of the SPs and SEC Plus do have the signatures of the voice actresses. But for whatever reason, the SSP rarity does not. And that's a little bit strange because you would kind of think they want to put the signatures on such a higher rarity class, but they didn't. But all of these have, I believe, unique not fan arts. These are new official arts printed for this Weiss Schwarz set. So all of these are never seen before cards, images, and all of them, I believe, or most of them, are holding a card that represents Weiss Schwarz, except some of them. But anyway, so I think these will also be, in terms of rarity, they will be maybe one per case. Typically in Weiss Schwarz, you get one SSP and then a few SPs per case. So they are going to be rarer in terms of rarity. But anyway, in terms of card art, so which ones will be more popular? So I think the most popular character from this bunch will probably be this one. The Bunny Twins and Blanc and Noir are going to be the top of the mountain. And I believe Blanc is the most popular of them all. According to the popularity poll, she is ranked dwarf or something. Noir, who's her sister, has the biggest curves, or one of the biggest in the game, and they're both meta, so obviously they have a lot of fans. Moving on, I think in terms of art and appeal, it's probably going to be Ludmilla and Alice. Now, Alice is one of the most highly fan-arted characters out there, and she's meta. Ludmilla isn't really popular in terms of fan arts for whatever reason, but she has a very strong kit. Yes, that's it. Okay, moving on. So in terms of middling, I think Naga probably comes next in terms of middle of popularity, and Rapunzel's probably the least popular of them all. Marian, I think, is pretty popular because she is the same as Modernia. They're the same character. Spoilers, not really, because that happens in the first chapter. She is one of those characters that's, again, very integral to the storyline, and yeah, she doesn't get a whole lot of art in her original form. And then this one, Tia, she's okay. I mean, she doesn't really... She's kind of fallen out of favor in terms of meta game and not really used anymore. And she doesn't have a whole lot of fan arts, so I would imagine she's probably like the worst of the bunch in terms of SSP. So yeah. Now we get to the interesting part, which is ranking all of the different SP arts and where they will fall in terms of price point. So I separated them into 3 categories: high, mid, and low, meaning the SPs with the highest price point I'm going to be putting here. And the ones that I think are going to be worthless are probably going to be in the low tier, if that makes sense. Okay, so here we go. So Annis, alright. Without any explanation, again, Annis is one of the most popular characters, and she deservedly is in the high tier. She's also a main character. Naga. Okay, so Naga, I think, will be pretty expensive because this art is pretty attractive, you know. If you play the game, you know she's a meta character, and she is quite attractive in her storyline. Yeah. Moving on, we have Mika. Mika is one of those characters you don't get a lot of fan arts, if you know what I mean. If we take a look at where Mika falls, she is deservedly in the bottom 20, maybe? I can't even actually find where Mika is. Hold on. So taking a look at this, Mika is basically bottom 5 in terms of fan arts. She has 84 in comparison to everybody who has hundreds. She has no fan arts. Mika, in terms of a character, is pretty much not meta, unless, yeah, she's not really meta, so she's not great. So in terms of that, I think Mika does belong in the low category, as you can see. Next we have Jackal. Jackal, I think she will also be in the low category, simply because she's only meta in terms of PvP in the game. She doesn't really do anything else, and yeah, moving on. Alright, next we have Tia. Okay, so Tia, again, once she is one of the most popular ones because she did get a SP card over here, but in terms of, you know, how popular she is in comparison with the rest of the cast, she is quite popular, but not that popular. I can see her being either in mid or high. We'll leave her in high for now. Next we have Helm. Okay, Helm. So Helm is one of those odd characters who has not a whole lot of gameplay behind her in terms of power, but in terms of visual popularity, she is amongst one of the highest. And this is her actual alternative costume, not her main costume. So this one, during the summer event, which was released, this character helm is very high. I would imagine even, I would say it could pass Anis in terms of popularity, simply because Anis has a different card that has a higher rarity, so maybe people will value this version of Anis higher than, you know, this one. So I can definitely see the price point of Helm being one of the highest. Next we have Mast. Mast, I think she just belongs in mid. She's not terrible, but she's not great either, so she's mid, deservedly. Alright, next we have this version of Rapi. Okay. Main character vibes. I think this art is probably better than the Anis one. I could be wrong, but I think this one will be more expensive than this one. I just don't like this art for Anis. It's kind of lame. Next we have Litter. Okay. I don't actually know how to evaluate Litter because first, she is one of the most important characters in the game. But in terms of attractiveness and fan art, she's amongst the lowest. Let's take a look. Litter is right here, bottom 10. Bottom 10, huh? Well, she is bottom 10 in terms of fan arts, but she is top 3 in terms of utility in the game. Now, she's one of the most beloved characters in terms of utility and importance to everybody's game. So will she be low or will she be mid? I have no idea. Do people actually like this fan art when she goes owl? I don't know. I don't think they do. It's not great. But let's put her in the top of low, because I honestly don't think this will be very sought after. Okay, Laplas. She's one from Lysilis, and I don't really particularly like this art either. I think it's just not the greatest use of her fan art or art in general. The lobby screen is kind of lame, but in terms of popularity, I think Laplas is okay, I guess. Nah. She goes here, I think. Probably very low. But the interesting thing about Laplas is she is voiced by the same character as Ludmilla. I think I'll get to her when she's there. Alright, next we have Rapi. Rapi. So this is an alternate costume for Rapi. Her original costume outfit is actually more popular than this winter version, so that's the only reason why this belongs in mid. But she is a very popular character. It's just that her design is the most appealing thing about her. But that design is not used for this art, this card game for some reason. That's the only reason I think she belongs in the mid character category. But if she had her original costume, which probably belongs in high. Next we have Blanc and Noir. And again, the Bunny Twins are one of the most popular ones. I would say they belong here. More popular than Rapi and Anis. At least in terms of meta and art, this pair is probably the most attractive. Now, it could be said that the popularity could be like this in terms of rankings, but I could see them being evaluated the same way. Okay. Next we have this winter character that I have no idea who that is because nobody uses her, and she's not meta, and she's not important to the story either, so there's that. We have Guillotine. Guillotine. How do we evaluate Guillotine? She's kind of interesting in terms of storyline. She recently got an event this Christmas, but I don't know how much that will push her popularity, but She's like a Mega Man type of character from Konosuba, where she's very talkative about herself and kind of quirky, if you know what I mean. Yeah, I think this will probably be low in terms of popularity. Okay, next we have the Doctor. Dr. Mary, with her eyes open. Mary usually has her eyes closed, so this fan art of her, not fan art, I keep saying that. This official art of her having her eyes open is kind of odd, but Mary, oh my god. She has such a revealing outfit that I think she'll be quite popular. Maybe here. Probably. Alright, next we have Guilty. Guilty, I think, belongs in mid. Not much to say about her. She doesn't really have a storyline. She's kind of an optional character, so not a whole lot of depth. Sugar probably belongs here. Again, not very popular character. She's not really important to the story and not meta as well. Exia, man, this low category is very sad. All of these characters who probably don't have a whole lot of fans, but I believe she belongs here. Okay, Uni, goodbye. You go over here. She's probably the most hated, next to what's her face, Crow in the game. She does horrible things in the story, and she is not somebody you would like to be in your poll list. She's probably going to be worthless. Marciana, okay. Marciana, probably the highest of the mid tiers. Very attractive. Red Hood. Red Hood, voiced by the legendary Yoko Mikasa. She is the cream of the top. I think in terms of popularity and everything else, this lady probably belongs like here, but since she doesn't have a SEC card, she belongs in the highest of the highs. This will be a very expensive card if I predict correctly. Everybody loves Red Hood. She is so cool. She has an interesting storyline, and my god, she's so well written, and her voice actress. Alright, Modernia. We have yet another Modernia. So this is the third one. Okay. My god, there's actually 3 Modernias. Wow. Okay, Modernia. I think she belongs somewhere over here. Again, Anis, Rapi, and Modernia, they're probably interchangeable. I don't know who's the most popular of them all, but that's where she belongs. Alice, probably somewhere over here, ahead of Mary, I guess. But this art is not the best. Alright, whatever. Moving on. Sakura. Alright, she's mid. She did get a release for the summer this year, where she had an alternate costume and a storyline that pushes her to relevancy. In terms of this original fan art, though, she's probably not that great. There are fans of her, but not that many yet of this one. Leona, I guess, I'm not sure. She's not really used in the game. Anyway, we're not really going to talk about the mid tiers. Okay, Ludmilla. So an interesting thing about Ludmilla is that she has the same voice actress as Laplace. So these two ladies are voiced by the same person. But Ludmilla is much more popular because of her design, gameplay, and other reasons. And deservedly, I think she should outrank Tia, probably. Or that's just my own bias talking. Okay, Noise should belong somewhere over here. She is mid. Alright, Biscuit. I'm sorry, Biscuit. Another one of those daughter characters where, you know, she's like a dog, but she's a dog that you want to pet, and she's an animal talker. But yeah, not much to talk about Biscuit because she has no fan arts and she's barely used, and yeah, she's your dog. Okay, next is Scarlet Black Shadow. So this is the second Black Shadow Scarlet, the OG. I think this one belongs somewhere over here. Again, these four are probably interchangeable. Who knows where they'll fall? Privati, the Queen of Sun. Tsundere enjoyers rejoice. Privati. I really like Privati. She is hilarious. This is her alt costume, and she's doing like a maid cafe thing right here, and she hates it, but she's just so adorable. I think she's a very popular character, but I could be wrong. Maybe I'm just a sucker for tsunderes. I don't know. Okay, next we have Dorothy. Doro. Okay. So Dorothy, this is her second card. This is the SP. It's really hard to evaluate which ones are higher than the others. I don't. It's hard. I mean, all of these should be high in terms of monetary value. But I can't really explain it. You have to play the game or know the story to really evaluate why some of them are high and some of them are low. Okay. Soda. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. Soda. Soda is a kind of a worthless character in terms of gameplay and her original design, but her design, oh my god, that plot. That plot is pushing against the glass and okay. But she recently got an event that pushed her to relevancy, so I think people will like that card a whole lot. Next we have Brid. She's mid, but she has this side thing going that's probably going to appeal to people. But she has no development in terms of story, and yeah, that's where she belongs. Okay, we have Snow White. Snow White, I think this is the second version. The first version is this one when she was younger, SP. This is the SP version. She is in her adult phase, where she becomes kind of a weirdo. Anyway, mid. Okay, moving on. Next we have another Scarlet. I don't know where to put her. She's probably somewhere here, I suppose. Scarlet. What is this? The fourth Scarlet? Third? 1, 2, 3. Okay, third. Third Scarlet. Again, Scarlet is very popular. No surprises there. Rapunzel. The OG Rapunzel. This one, pretty good design. Goes there. Polly. Polly gets to sit next to Biscuit because they're both dogs, and she's also a dog. She's your pet. Not very popular. Okay, Diesel. Diesel could be here or here. I don't really know. Diesel's voiced by the legendary Rei Takahashi, who voices Amelia, who voices wait, she did voice Mega Man. So her voice actress is very popular, but this character, not so much. Karen, she's I don't know. People even care about Heron? I don't think they do. I really don't. She's one of those characters that is just there to dilute the pool. Not great, not great. Okay, so this is the basis of it. Now the last 5 cards we have is what? The last 5 cards we have are the trial deck SPs. So these cards cannot be found in the regular booster boxes. They can be only found in the trial decks. So these are, once again, should be in a category of their own, but because they're called SPs, we're going to rate them with the rest of these SPs. So we're almost done. So again, Rapi should be high, but somewhere here maybe. Anis, this is the OG version. I don't know, I think this probably is like not great. It's probably the most boring of all of her versions. This is the third Anis. This summer one's better than this one, so this one goes there. I guess the same could be said for this one. Scarlet. Okay, this is the fourth Scarlet. This is the better Scarlet. This is the worst Scarlet of the bunch. So this should be the lowest of the high. Modernia, again, Sleepy Modernia. This is the same character as this one. This is her... What is this? Yeah, this is the fourth Modernia. Okay. Could belong somewhere like this, I think. And last but not least, we have Emma. Emma... I think Emma belongs in the mid category. Come on. Mid. She has gigantic bazookas, but in terms of story and gameplay, she's not really there, I guess. She's just a support character, not really doing much. But there you have it. We have the tier list of the rarity, as well as what I predict will be the most popular characters and which ones will be the most sought after, the highest priced ladies of Weiss Schwarz. Now, if you take a look at this tier list, you probably notice there's a trend going on. Some of these have larger assets than the others. The low ones are ladies that are not very well grown, and the worst ones are probably even flat, if that matters. But thank you for watching. Hopefully this will help us figure out, if you've never played Nikke in your life, how to price these cards appropriately. Don't price Red Hood low, because she is going to be very popular. So, once again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.